Hey, it's Blast Letter Sash time. Just a quick little thing. We got 600 subs today. 600 subs. It's been a long road, but 600 subs, I'm happy with that. We just kind of keep chugging along, work a little engine that could. We just keep doing it. Quick announcements before we get started. Shoemaker, I kind of maybe want to do this kind of in between, maybe toward the end, catch many people as we possibly can. We're having a auction next Thursday night, 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern. Going to try to sell some books to get a little extra money for C2E2. So definitely try to come by and check that out next Thursday night. Tomorrow, I will actually be doing another video on this channel, looking at the books that are going to be coming out this Wednesday. So join me for that tomorrow, right around, I would say, between noon and 4 probably. Make sure you check your, mark the little bell, get announcements, know that I'm there. With that, we'll go ahead and get started with Drew on his first book.
Oh, guys, it was a great week for books. I love just about everything that I read. Very few stinkers in the bunch. Let's talk about something exciting. I'm going to go ahead and start it off with a definite stash. Candidate for stash of the week. Didn't quite make it for me. That would be Venom number 11. Here's the Dave Gibbons cover. Oh, wow. He ripped himself off. This is kind of dumb, but I liked it, so I bought it. Got this Skrulls cover right here. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but that was pretty cool. And then you got the A cover here. This Venom run by Donny Cates has been fantastic. The Ryan Stegman art maintains its quality throughout the run. Really great stuff. The story here, spoilers abound, so I don't want to get too far into it. But basically, the history of the symbiote and Eddie Brock is not what we thought it was. And a lot of what we've been seeing throughout this run is not what we thought it was. And this was a really cool twist. Very emotional, very well played, and I really enjoyed it. So this is a definite stash, man. Venom number 11.
Joe, what'd you think of Venom?
Yeah, I went ahead and picked up this cover. This was a great example of being a little too reliant on somebody. We see these kind of relationships and dependency issues with people with alcohol, and they need that other person around them. It's the same concept here with the symbiote and Eddie Brock. Oh, my God. Just the absolute desperate attempts at this symbiote to change his history and has no problem with lying to him, but can't be without him. Sounds like a poisonous relationship to me. In the next issues, we're going to start seeing how that's going to play out. Hopefully Eddie Brock gets smart, but now we also find out that not only, and I'll spoil it, that's not a problem. Apparently it's not Eddie Brock's little brother. It's actually his son. Dun, dun, dun. Classic soap opera moment. Man, how exciting is that? So now we can freshly get a new start. New arcs are about to come up. Great stuff's about to happen here. I may be picking this up on a regular basis, putting it back into my pull box, and start reading a lot more of Venom. Loved it.
Yeah, it's a definite stash for me, too. I know Cates is going to do 12. They take like a 3-issue hiatus, I guess, during this whole War of the Realms thing, and then coming back on. But I'll still keep Venom on my pull list throughout the whole War of the Realms. I don't know how much that's going to actually play into that whole story. I'm only picking up the main issues for that War of the Realms. I'm not going to be grabbing all the side pieces with that. But this is definitely a stash, too. So I think issue 9 is it was a key issue before because that was the first appearance of Eddie Brock's son. But we thought it was his little brother at that time. I don't know how much that's heating up, but definitely it's a stash for me. People are complaining, too, online that they wanted Cates to write to where the symbiote and Eddie Brock had more of a romantic relationship versus the relationship they had. So I don't know. I guess Donny Cates is getting death threats and stuff about that now, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. If you don't like it, don't pick it up. That's as far as I'm concerned, But it's a stash for me, for sure. Moving on to Paul in your first book.
Let's do Middle West number 4. This is still an amazing read. It's a grand adventure for this kid, and I'm loving it. It's a great story, great art. If you like Scotty Young, you'll love this. If you don't like Scotty Young, this could change your mind. If you still don't like Scotty Young after reading this, you have no hope. You have no heart. So this is a stash. Buy it. It's good.
Joe?
Yeah, I mean, if you like The Wizard of Oz, Labyrinth, and those type of shows, a never-ending story, you're going to love this book. This series is just every issue is him meeting somebody new and dealing with that, and his little sidekick, the fox, and now we meet an engineering little girl and a tin man of some sort. So, yeah, this is just fun reading. You know, when you read as many comic books as probably the rest of the crowd here does. You know, you're popping through 20 comic books. This just is a nice little break in between them. Really been enjoying this. It's just classic storytelling. You know, that the adventurer and the adventure, and that's all it is. It's great stuff.
This is still going to be on my pull list, so this is a stash. But I really feel like it's the same formula each issue. It runs into somebody's threatening to kill him, they defeat him, find one other place. I kind of wish it went along a little more, had a little more change in the story in each issue. I mean, if we watch any movie, that adventure movie, that's kind of the same thing. You know, they go along a little further, they meet somebody, you know, their friends or not, they go a little further. But still, this is a stash completely for me. I was shocked today because I was behind one issue. I read 3 and I read 4 today. As I was putting 3 down, I noticed on the back of the book, this says it's rated M for mature. And to me, this reads like a Jim Henson, like I think you might have just said that, Jim Henson kind of story. I don't know where it's rated M for mature. I don't remember any bad language in it. I don't remember any of that stuff, but I was kind of shocked. But definitely Middle West is a stash for me.
Leave it to Huey to take one of the best feel-good comics of the year and take a shit on it. Say it's repetitive. You're like, it's repetitive.
It's still a good book. I enjoy it. I just wish there was a little more of a conclusion. It seems like it's the same story each time, but a different person, different bad guy in the spot, meeting a new person, don't know what they're going to do. So but it's still a stash, and it's probably, I mean, it's one of my favorite books, though. Drew?
Nice save.
I didn't get a chance to read Middle West yet this week. There are a couple books in my stack that I haven't gotten to. That's one of them. I have been enjoying it. It just hasn't been something that it really gets me excited, but it is high quality. It's just the story hasn't grabbed me and really made it must read for me. I'll get to it. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy it. I like Scotty Young's writing. I think the art is fantastic. It's there's nothing not to like about this book, to be honest. It's just not one of my it's not my soap opera right now, you know.
Well, like Joe said, it's the perfect book for when you've read like 3-4 heavy books in a row. You pick up this and it gives you a little break.
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. There's a lot of good books I haven't read this week. A lot of stories that I am enjoying that I just haven't gotten to.
Joe, your first book?
Let's talk about something I think everybody read, except for Midwest. Avengers, number 15. I went with this. Of course, it's more rare variant because I was able to pick it up for cover price, which was awesome. So I'm super stoked about that. So what's going on in this book? Oh, man, it is kind of weird. So we're still dealing with the Shadow Colonel. We're finding out just how truly badass he really is. And he's just the quintessential vampire killer. I hate to say it, he kind of puts Blade in the back seat, and I'm kind of digging that. We find out more about the power that they have over Ghost Rider and how they made him look even cooler than he possibly could before. Wasn't a big fan of this particular Ghost Rider, but in this storyline where they kind of beat them up, they got him kind of looking good. Oh man, it's awesome. And we find out that Dracula is up to his whole tricks. He's hiding out, and Tony Stark realizes real quick he can't just go into a Russian prison and talk to whoever he wants to. The Winter Guard is there, and kind of something needed to be done where Tony was allowed to step in, but he learned his lesson at the end, you know, and I like that. I like it when authoritative figures take over control, and sometimes they need to be reminded. Tony Stark has a bad problem of doing that as Iron Man, and I think that was pretty cool. Other than that, I'm really excited about this. Where's this going to end up? Where's this going? It's kind of weird. We almost had like a Return of the Jedi, or not Return of the Jedi. Which crap movie was it where Vader was going to slaughter all the kids? We had almost one of those moments there, and it was just awkward, but he ended up not doing it. And I'll tell you, it's a good, easy read. I don't know how it would go if you just now walk into it. I think you might want to pick up the last 2 issues, going back to 13 for it to make sense. But man, it's just a great read, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I have not read that yet. I still have it on my pull list. I'm so far behind on Avengers, but it's here. I have it here. So, Drew, Avengers number 15.
Man, if there's one thing that I hate, it's when a story adds vampires. Holy shit. What a terrible idea. Let's put vampires in the first run of X-Men a couple years ago. What? Why are we doing this? Vampires suck. They suck blood, but literally they suck as a story device. But oh my god, did they find a way to make vampires fun and cool. This is the best vampires have been since they sparkled in the sun in Twilight. This is the height of vampires. Blade, he's badass. This little like rat man guy with he's got little suicide bomber rats. What the hell is that? That's awesome. I love that. I love everything about that. The art in this, the Marquez art is fantastic. Ghost Rider, like Joey said, is absolutely awesome. Pope Grimy says Jubilee Vampire is awesome. You're wrong. I'm so glad they took that away from Jubilee. That was terrible. But beyond that, this is just really great, man. There's freaking hellhounds. He's trying to get them to murder kids. Now he's going to kill the Avengers. Carol Danvers tries to fly at the dude, and he turns into a mist, and she smacks into a wall. It's badass. This is a funny book. It's aggressively action-packed. It's like a Fast and the Furious movie. There's just so much bullshit going on here. Like a flaming, spirit of vengeance muscle car bursting out of the guts of a giant celestial. Like, what the fuck? I mean, come on. That shouldn't be good, but it is. This is amazing. I've been loving this run, and I can't wait. I can't wait for this War of the Realms shit. Jason Aaron he continues to feed my imagination with this wonderful, wonderful stuff, and I'm stashing it.
One other thing that was pretty interesting in it is I love the fact that the Colonel Shadow himself has a little man thing with him. And they kind of explain why he's on his shoulder and everything, because he has his unlimited amount of stakes that he can make to kill vampires with.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome.
Boy thing.
Okay, moving on from one Avengers to another. Avengers No Road Home. I definitely read this one. So at the beginning of the book, they have what happened on Olympus, how the Queen of the Night dispatched all of the Olympic gods. And it goes on. Basically, it's a Hawkeye talking through the whole story. His kind of monologuing going about. And a show, we find out that Scarlet Witch is not dead. She just got, just taken care of for a little bit. She can't see. And it shows the Queen of the Night and her kids just taking care of the Avengers throughout the whole thing. And again, two Hawkeyes having this thing like, I'm just a guy. Is it luck? Do I actually have skill? Who I am? He's actually contemplating this stuff himself when everybody talks him down to what are you just to do with a bow and arrow? What are you going to do? And then at the end of the book, a little spoiler announcing he goes to the hospital, wakes up, he's missing his thumb on his right hand, and he's thinking, what a crappy day this is. He's contemplating everything else, and then at the very end, as if he's not having the worst day ever, Hulk pulls the curtain back in the hospital and goes, "Oh, we're alone now." And it's like, come on, dude. I mean, that's what he's got to be thinking in his head. Just like, what else is going to happen to me? Hulk's going to kill me now. Great stuff. I love this stuff. This is good stash of the week, I think, for me, for Avengers No Road Home. Drew?
Yeah, man, I really love the other Avengers book. And this is a better book by miles. It's fantastic. I'm loving this. I like the focus on Hawkeye. Again, ask me the last time I enjoyed a Hawkeye story. The answer is not recently. And I dug this. I thought this was really well written. I think that the art in this is just, oh man, it's freaking gorgeous. Really, really well put together book. The characters, man, I love the characters in the other Avengers book, the new villains, new team of villains. We get a new team of villains in this one too, and they're all pretty freaking badass. It's just, yeah, man, stellar stuff. And Immortal Hulk comes calling for Hawkeye. We'll see what happens with that. So, man, I'm loving it. Stash.
Before you jump in and give us an update on that chat, make sure you're giving us a thumbs up and a like and comment down below. Share it. Definitely get our name out there. But Drew, go ahead and give us an update on that chat. We haven't done it since we started the show.
Oh, man. You know who's in the chat? Somebody I haven't seen the chat in quite some time. Hueys Comics is in the chat. Pocan Joe is in the chat. Who's that guy? Smith's up in the chat. What's going on, Jason Smith? He's got Pope Grimey's been in here. Comic Girl Ava's been up in here for a long time. She brought a friend. Really cool comics. We appreciate that. My nephew Double S hanging out in the chat. Comic Core is up in the chat. Aggressively Relaxing is in here as well. Says vampires are everywhere in the Marvel Universe right now. That is true, and it's upsetting to me. Let's see. Who else is in this chat, man? Jock Yo's been in the chat, man. He's chopping it up. Comics Misexplained as well. I don't want to miss anybody, man. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Well, we're competing against the Oscars, I think, tonight. So, a lot of people probably.
Yeah, Black Panther's going to win that Oscar.
We'll see.
I think someone said the Spider-Man one for animated.
Did it? I'd know that if I watched the Oscars. All right. My turn?
Yes, sir. Your turn.
All right, let's do this one because it's just pure fun. Hulkverines. What is this? Oh, it's the Hulk, and it's Wolverine, and it's the Hulkverine Weapon H. This is actually really cool. I really enjoyed the art in this. I thought it was really fun. I think that the Immortal Hulk fighting against Weapon H is something that we all want to see, but it kind of gets cut short by a gamma virus designed by the Leader. So that's pretty cool. Leader is coming back in a big way. He's going to be the villain in this run, apparently. And, he's getting ready to get smashed and slashed by Weapon H here. And he gets stopped by the one and over Wolverine because he's biting his style. He just can't have that. So we're going to see what happens next time when all three of them mix it up. But man, this is a really cool cover. I enjoy this book. Joey's holding up a cover there. I like that one as well. This is just, oh man, this is fun. It's just dumb fun. If you like the Hulk and you like Wolverine, you're going to enjoy this. Check it out. Stashing
Joe?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I also liked Avengers No Road Home too. I thought it was a very good comic book.
Did I forget
Well, we didn't ask you.
But
God damn, I'm working on a new chart here. A new chart.
A spreadsheet worked out just wonderfully.
Give us No Road Home before you give us Hulkverines.
No, because you guys already said everything on it. It was a great book. But yeah, this Hulkverines, this is epically good reading. I mean, we got good guy, don't like each other. So let's have a fight. And then you got the bad guys is basically watching everything. How awesome is that? Yeah, I'll watch that. And I loved the prison scene where they came in to talk to the Leader, and it kind of reminded me of that Silence of the Lambs. It's halfway expect him to do a hello, Cuddies.
Hello, Cuddies.
Yeah, rolling up the newspaper and bashing it in the dude's eye just to show he can, and then throwing a piece of paper at the right time to watch somebody slip. I mean, that's just classic, the Leader. And then all of a sudden, he's got to figure out how to make this problem go away, but it looks like they're going to be taking care of each other. Super excited about issue number 2. Plus, I got that beautiful cover there, man. I love that. So, yeah, good stuff. And Avengers No Road Home, that was good, too.
Thank you for that twofer, Joe. Yeah, this was, I think Drew kind of said it, and maybe you said it too, Joe. This is dumb fun. I actually enjoyed this book. I mean, you don't need to be a deep story. Like you said, you got Wolverine, you got Weapon H, you got Wolverine. You know, all those three things together is great. I loved the scene when Leader's out there, and Weapon H is like, "Who the hell are you?" blowing clothes off, and Leader like, "Oh crap, I screwed up." And he takes off running. He has like two different scenes where he's kind of chickening out and taking off running from the Weapon H. But this good, dumb, fun, and I'm glad it's only 3 issues. You know, I don't have to get super committed into this great big story arc, and I'm surprised they didn't have 15 tie-ins with it. Just good stuff, dude. I just love it. That was Drew. Now it's back to Paul.
All right, let's do Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #3. I may have been the only one that read it, but I mean,
you are.
I've been enjoying this so far all along, and the story just swerved into the super weird, and it's awesome. Who knew that several miles under New York City there was a carbon copy city called Under York, and it's a sovereign nation that used to trade with the surface? Well, the chick that kidnapped Leilani is apparently from that world, and Peter and the Rumor go down and rescue her, but not before Peter gets shot, and ends with Rumor saying they need to prepare for war. So this is getting really interesting and just totally off the wall, and I like it. So I'm going to stash it.
Joe, just to cover my bases, you did not read that this week.
No, sir, I didn't read that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
No, I didn't read it either.
Hey, Drew, your mic's messing up there. Your mic. You're up there, Joe.
Oh, let's talk about some weirdness. I got this weird comic book, and I still don't know where I'm at on it. It's by DC Vertigo. It's called High Level. With this beautiful variant here. Yeah, this is kind of a weird story. It's a futuristic story. We got scavengers, and we have this kind of promise of a better land, and you can ascend in it. We still don't know what that is, so we're dealing with deontology to some degree, and we're also dealing with realism. And we're kind of seeing the different characters play off of each other in this. And in the end, we find a little girl who came from a place that you're not supposed to come back from. And now it's being tasked on our heroine to be able to get her back there. It's a great, I mean, the art in it's stunning. I absolutely enjoyed the art in it. I'm just not sure where I'm at on the story yet, how I feel about it. There's some of the pages for you. I mean, it reads very well. It's not over wordy. I don't know. It just seemed like the story should have told me more, but it didn't. I don't know if it's holding back on its story, but I enjoyed it, and I will be picking up issue #2 just to kind of see where this goes. Highly been enjoying it. Great stuff.
Oh, my camera's not on. There we go. Yeah, this was a little bit interesting. This is that Matina cover. I guess this one's going for $12 or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Shut up.
Hashtag Tracer.
Hashtag Tracer. So yeah, this book is a little weird. I started reading it last night. Had to kind of put it down because I was kind of tired. Just kind of get a better idea of what I read it again this morning. Yeah, and the people have to ascend. The people have to try to get there. But they talk about they really don't know what is in that high level. That's kind of the conversation go out through the whole book. We don't know what's there. We don't know what's there. And like I said, at the end is that girl. Now, is she supposed to be help getting back, or is she supposed to be help to be hidden down below again? I didn't know that.
They need to hide her now, but get her back there because
Okay.
there's something shaky going on with the authorities and the hideout.
Yeah. Okay. Because the Black Helix show up to that bar. They have pictures of a guy and a girl, and we're assuming that's the girl. We don't know who the guy is. But because the guy who actually is bringing her to hide is actually part of Black Helix, from what I understand. It was an okay book. I don't think I'd pick up issue 2. I'd probably wait maybe Dollar Bennett and then pick it up there if I ever go to Dollar Bennett. Who never knows with the hashtag Tracer. issue 2 could be a $15 book too. I don't know, but I know. Let me double check my list here. Drew did not read this, but we know that Paul did.
Yes, and for me, it was my pick of the week. I mean,
Really?
this is the type of series I really love. I mean, like Joe said, the art is fantastic. It's a post-apocalyptic tale of a young lady. She does all these shady jobs. You know, she goes out and scavenges stuff, like he said. And there's lots of talk of high level up in the north, which, depending on who you talk to, it's either paradise or hell. And you know, you think kind of get like there might be a Soylent Green kind of thing going on here. She wants nothing to do with up north, and she's like, one of her friends is going up north, and she says, "You're a moron, and have fun, and I'll never see you again." But at the end, like they said, she's hired to protect a child who could be the last hope for humanity, and she has to bring her back to high level because it's going to end the war or whatever the guy says. And I don't know, kind of like Waterworld, you know, the little girl is the savior. But it's a good start. I mean, it's the kind of story I like to read, so I'm definitely stashing this.
I did not get the Soylent Green aspect of it like you did, but
well, they're talking about how people they ascend and nobody ever sees them again, and you know, they talk about the people drudging on the lines, and you know, it's definitely got that kind of feel to it, to me.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't awake enough this morning when I read through it the second time. I didn't read it again.
Isn't the Vertigo line getting canceled?
I don't know. I thought they just started back up fairly recently.
I know they've canceled a couple books because you got people beating up their girlfriends, and you know.
I mean, they're canceling a lot of stuff over at DC. They're cutting the line down.
Yeah. That was part of the conversation on our Facebook group too. People were talking about that, and I don't see an issue with cutting some DC down.
Well, I mean, from what I know, most of this Vertigo relaunch stuff, especially the Sandman universe stuff, like, is not selling at all. So
it's because Gaiman isn't writing it.
Well, he's the architect of the universe still. So I mean, I just don't understand. You know, it's just not commercially viable at this point, I guess. But I mean, people seem to be liking it. I just don't understand why it's not selling. That's not my cup of tea.
I think the biggest problem with the new Vertigo line is Karen Berger's not running it.
Well,
isn't she over with
can't have nice things
Dark Horse now?
Didio.
Yep, she's with Dark Horse now. She's got her universe there.
Because that was part of the imprint of that Girl from the Bay or Girl in the Bay that we read.
It's like Burger Books or something, I think is what they're calling
it. Yeah. Oh, really cool comics just taking off. Thanks for jumping in here.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Splash Page Comics in the chat. What's going on, Splizash?
That sounded...
Well, folks, you heard it here first. Vertigo's going away. Go buy up all their comic books so you can put your kids through college.
Yep, right now. Go buy them. I may have some Vertigo books selling on eBay.
I just got an option for a movie.
Vertigo books? Yeah. Okay, my next book is a Born, because we got it wrong in the off air. You guys misheard me, by Scout Comics. So this is a pretty simple book. There's not a whole lot of dialogue. It's a black and white book. There's this guy who, from what I understand from it,
designed for you then, huh? Not a lot of dialogue.
Really, they left it black and white. They left it available for me to color in, so it was perfect. I sharpened my crayons this morning and I tried it. He's from what I understand, his lover, his wife or whatever, was killed, or she's trapped in like a hell, essentially. It says, "Come to me," she said. Her voice is like a song. So he's going on this adventure, slaying different beasts as he's going down through. I mean, pretty simplistic art. But he comes across this one guy who's like I don't know what you would call him, big monster dude with antlers, and he's telling him he shouldn't have come down here because the witch drank. He used to be super strong, but the witch said that she would, if he let go of his strength, she would give him what he was looking for. The witch lied to him, took his strength, and now he's trapped in there. So It's not a bad book. I mean, like I said, it's not very wordy, but I definitely would probably pick up issue 2 to kind of follow through. Wolfborn's talking about the witch has what I need. I don't care what you say. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with my mission to find his girlfriend, wife, whatever you want to call her. So it's not bad. Wolfborn from Scout Comics, #1. I know nobody else read that.
I don't read wolf porn.
You don't read wolf? You're not into bestiality?
I mean, I like pig nips, but that's a solid book, man. Pig nips. It's way better than wolf porn.
It just shows him. 45 years, I probably won't be around. That's what. Okay,
go ahead. What is the lifespan of a half squatch?
Lifespan of half. It depends on really how much we're hunted, and food source available. I mean, people constantly moving into our area and taking over our land. You know, building subdivisions, building WalMarts, building Amazon retail centers. It's just crazy. You know,
I hear out your way the Walmarts have a really bad problem with piles of Sasquatch dung in their parking lots. Is that true?
Again, that's just because they're taking over our area, and so we have to find other places to take a dump.
But you're a half Squatch. Why are you taking sides on this? You should embrace both parts of your culture.
Okay, moving on from the half Squatch stuff. Drew, what's your next book?
Oh man, I want to talk about something really exciting, and that, my friends, is Teen Titans #27. I really like this cover here, but I also really enjoyed the Roundhouse cover as well, because in this story, not only do we get the origin of Jin, we also get the origin of Roundhouse, and we basically get a chance to see Robin be vulnerable and accept Jin's help after she shares her story with him. Ultimately, though, we learn that Deathstroke has escaped Arkham, which is setting everything into motion in this story. This was kind of a break in the action, kind of a character building issue. I dug it. The art wasn't anything to write home about, but a lot of the elements of the story were really cool. Kid Flash went with Roundhouse to his family's house for dinner. That was a lot of fun. We get to see that Roundhouse, although he's blue, is a Chinese-American individual. He's got a Chinese-American mother who wants to know if they've met any real superheroes like that Kenan Kong kid, who is the Chinese new Superman story that got canceled. I absolutely love that. Shout out to the great legend who absolutely loves new Superman as well. Very excited that we got a throwback to Kenan Kong. I think this right here spells crossover. Check out those new Superman issues for some speculation. And this is a stash, man.
Yeah, his Roundhouse mom's pretty racist. He thinks that Kid Flash knows who Oprah is, and they talk about Jackie Chan being their local. They're not the local, but their hero. The Asian community's hero. But yeah, this is good stuff. Like you said, it was just a character building issue with the background of Jin and the background of Roundhouse. But you definitely need those in between to kind of give a little more depth into the story, then move back up into a little more action. But Teen Titans is consistently on my pull list every week, so it's a stash.
A rare good DC book.
Any other updates on that chat?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of people talking about things. Soldier Only just popped in. We got Comic Guy John up in the chat. Stephen Oates in the chat, as well as everybody I mentioned before. Splash Page. Oh, everybody's hanging out, having a good old time.
Good deal. Good deal.
Comics was explained like the Teen Titans.
Yeah. Just a reminder.
So did Poke Ryan. Said it was great.
Son of a.
I'm going to keep cutting you off.
Just a remimer.
Future Only up in the chat.
We have some new people in here.
Hey, you guys want to talk about something else?
Shut the hell up. Oh, here. I know what I'll do. What's it?
He's going to mute me.
I just muted you, but that's okay. We have an auction next Thursday. Make sure you come by and check us out. We're going to be selling some books. Maybe we'll show off a few books that we're selling tonight. I don't know. I know I got some Mark Germ. I've got some Adam Hughes. I've got some Middleton. So definitely come by next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. It's going to be me, Joe, and Drew's probably going to show up a little bit later. Now I can unmute him. I think I can. How do I unmute you? Maybe you have to unmute yourself. There you go. Okay.
I cannot be silenced.
Make me blue.
What?
I don't know what Splash Page is talking about. Special troll, make me blue. I have no clue. Okay, moving on. I don't know if we want to skip Paul on one. You've only got a few other books left, Paul, or do you want to talk about
Blue
one?
Wrench.
Oh, the Blue Wrench.
Yeah, you can skip me for a round.
Okay, let's move it on back to Joe.
Oh, I don't know what it's been about these independent titles here lately, but I've been picking up more and more of those. And one that I've been really enjoying lately is this Bitter Root. I've really been enjoying this. Kind of deals with this 1940s type of sci-fi thing. I think I've gotten every issue of this. We found out something called the Jinru, which only lives in white people that have tainted souls. But then we find out that our African-American people too also have something inside of them that when they're infected in some spiritual way that they turn into these monsters as well. And one guy truly believes that this is a good thing for them, and he's kind of screwing everything up in Harlem. Not really the coolest thing ever. Some people may not like the play on the politics in it, but I mean, I get past that, and I've just been reading the story, and the story has been great. It's definitely adapted for television. Easy show to put on, but the art in it's beautiful. Let me show you guys if you haven't gotten it yet. I'll show you some of the great art in here. I mean,
Mike's not here. I'll say it real quick. All I heard is white guy and taint. So
tainted.
Okay. Sorry.
Just these great imaginative splash pages. Lots of action in it with some scientific boogly stuff involved in it that make no sense, but it doesn't matter. It's that time era and that type of sci-fi. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'll continue on reading. I'll probably finish this out. It's just been really great. I enjoy it.
Okay, moving on. I think everybody but Paul read this book. Just double checking. Yeah, Paul didn't read it. And the only thing good about this book is the cover and that it's ended. That's what I have to say. Return to Wolverine #5. If you didn't pick up that cover, dude, you're crazy. I mean, that's just a badass cover. Even though I'm not a big fan of Hot Claws, but it's kind of cool. The Hot Claws there are kind of glowing, making, giving enough light to see Wolverine getting ready to pounce. This, like I said, this story's been kind of awkward throughout the whole thing. I did like at the end where he's trying to kill. I forgot her name, but it's not. I think I'm getting it confused with the villain from Justice League. The name on it, but he ends up getting gassed, ends up getting out, and making his way back through. He ends up unlocking like all of his psyches that are trapped. Like, hey, let me out. I can do this. I can take care of that. That part I thought was kind of cool. I mean, that whole thing going through the whole story was kind of cool. He ends up kicking some ass throughout the whole book. But other than that, I'm just glad this is over. And it looks like maybe it continues on into Wolverine Infinity Watch. I'm not sure.
That's where exactly it left off. Yeah.
I did not pick it up. But that cover, look at that cover. It's a badass cover. And so it's a blast for me. Drew?
Yeah, this story's got a lot going for it. It's got some great covers. This issue had some fantastic Steve McNiven art. None of it really went anywhere or came together in any sort of way that was satisfying. Yeah, this overall is a blast. Charles Soule for me is really, really hit or miss. I liked what he did with the death of Wolverine. I thought it was really fun. I thought that it had some really cool stuff in it, some callbacks to classic Wolverine stuff. I did not enjoy this. I thought that the Declan Shalvey art was really, really spotty early on. I know that some folks in our chat previously had shit on the Declan Shalvey art, and I think that Shalvey does a lot of good things. His work on this series was not one of them. I feel like this was kind of rushed, and at the same time took its sweet ass time. From all of the build up to the return of Wolverine to this stuff right here, it's all been crap. If he just showed up in Uncanny, to back up Cyclops, nobody would have batted an eye. It'd been like, where the fuck have you been? And we can do that story later, But like, this was just, oh man, not really great. Not really great at all. This goes directly into Wolverine and Infinity Watch, which we'll learn when you guys review it later. I haven't read yet. I am looking forward to that. I like Duggan, and I like what he did with the Infinity Wars and having something else spin out of that. And I did flip through it. The art looks pretty cool, and Loki's in it, so it's got that going for it. But I was just trying to figure out what was going on at the end of this. I probably wouldn't bother. Yeah, but again, this variant cover here, this Adam Kubert variant cover, is absolutely gorgeous. Probably my cover of the week. Close second, I believe. So, yeah. Yeah, Comic Related, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. Just, show up in Uncanny 11, right? And just be like, schnick, schnick. And then Cyclops will be like, where the fuck you been? And he'd be like, weren't you dead? And then we can just have him, like, hug it out. There we go.
Joe?
Yeah, this wasn't a story, so I kind of ignored the story for it, and I took it just for the cool moments that were in there. I mean, one of the things I really enjoyed about this was literally Wolverine rode a space station into Earth, and I mean, who else could do that? That was kind of cool. And then the first thing he says when he lands in the water and comes out of it is, hey, you got a beer? Classic Wolverine. Loved it. But that was it. Like, there was no arc to the story in any way. It was just like random things would happen, and some things would be really cool. And it's almost like the writer just kind of wanted you to focus on that stuff because they didn't know really how to put this together. But some cool things happen. Am I going to blast it? No, because I mean, really, look at that cover. Seriously, that is awesome. And that's something else that they gave us through the series as well. They gave us some really great covers. And again, they gave us some cool moments, but they didn't tell a story until the very end, the last panel in this one, where it kind of moves into the Infinity Watch, and which we'll probably be talking about here in a minute. But yeah, it was just some cool things to talk about in it, and that was about it. There was no meaning, no depth, no anything in this.
Yeah, I mean, unless that main villain of this 5-issue story arc plays a part further down the line, I see no reason to have that at all. You could have done a one-shot showing how Wolverine got back, and then, like you said, pop into issue 11, I think, of Uncanny. Is that what you're saying, Drew?
What's up?
I was saying that I don't think they needed a 5-issue story arc unless this villain's going to play a bigger part later on. We could have just had a one-shot.
Yeah, I don't think this villain will play a bigger part later on unless Soul does another run. That would be my only thought about popping up again. It's maybe if they start a new Wolverine series, just a Wolverine book. I don't see any reason for them to do that since he's popping up all over the fucking place already in all kinds of events and all kinds of series like that. I think it'll probably be a while before we get a new Wolverine #1. I haven't seen anything that solicits for it, and you figure you would by now. But hey, they're throwing him in the Infinity Watch or whatever. Who knows? But he's a focal point of Uncanny. I just don't think that this series, and it wasn't just a 5-issue run. It was 4-issue miniseries leading into a 5-issue run that had like an alpha issue, didn't it? So it was like a 6-issue run.
Could have. Oh, well, that's right. There was a story arc before this one, huh?
Right. So we're talking about 22 issues. This is a 22-issue run.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like, this is. I mean, I don't know why I didn't read the first Hunt for Wolverine or whatever and realized this is going to be garbage. Yeah, I mean,
that's right, because it had those like 5
the
issues
adamantium agenda.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
All that
Here's a newsflash, Drew. You did say this is going to be a piece of crap, but you said I'm going to buy them and read them anyway.
Well, thank you for reminding me how fucking stupid I am. I appreciate that. You know what? Honestly, not that I'm stupid, but thank you for reminding me that I know how stupid I am. I already knew. It's nice to have a reminder that I already knew.
Well, Joe, since you're the only one, I know Drew picked it up, but he didn't read it. Do you want to go ahead and give us your take on Wolverine Infinity Watch?
Yeah, it was great. Pick it up, guys. Good stuff.
That's it?
No, I'm joking. Yeah, let me pull it up here. I'll show you there.
Paul read it too. I'm sorry.
I got just about everybody's picking up the one with the Infinity Gauntlet and doing that. I went with this one. I don't know why. I just kind of liked it. Kind of reminded me of the old 90s wrestling where the guys were like, suck it, and they were crossing their arms. So I went ahead and picked up that copy there. So yeah,
wrestling where they were like, suck it. Team wrestling where they were like, suck it. They'd be saying suck it a lot, bro.
Are you saying words again? Be quiet. I'm giving a review. So we pick right up onto the Return of Wolverine.
It has to be entertaining while you're giving your review.
Infinity Watch. And what do we get? We get Phoenix Wolverine, or whatever the hell he's calling himself. Loki's already kind of talked with him. They talked about their beer wagon. And then Logan's just came out of space, just makes it to the X-Mansion, and he's off on another run. And man, is it okay. It's the best I can give you. Right now we got we know the Soul Stones are out there. We're bringing that back into it. We were dealing with the Infinity Warps series, and the stones were given souls. So, but the unfortunate thing is that they're inside of people, and we saw in Infinity Warps where one of them was in a prisoner who was in death row, and he escaped, and apparently somebody's come down to Earth called Warbringer, and he wants the stones now because he knows they're here. And Wolverine's got to go out and protect them according to himself, being the Phoenix. A lot of banter about the Phoenix going on in here. Like, oh, you got it now? I thought we were done with that type language. It was pretty funny. I don't know how it's going to go, though. They have a great kicking off point here. Everything's been explained. Just get to the heart of the story and do it. I hope that's what they do, because it can go off the rails real quick. So, yeah, just give us a good story. Tell your story. Make it good. And make it impactful in some way, through violence, action. I don't care. Just something. Give me something. Tell me Wolverine can do something other than being in the horrible, uncanny X-Men universe.
Paul, what'd you think of Infinity Watch?
Is Double S still in the chat? Because I hated this. It was dumb. So freaking dumb. I can't believe I spent 15 freaking minutes reading this piece of crap. I wanted to kick cats by the time I was done. So it's been a while, but fuck Marvel. Fuck them hard. Fuck them with a machete. Fuck them with a chainsaw. Fuck them with a trident. I don't care as long as it fucking hurts. This is my blast of the week.
Okay.
Wow, on a Jerry Duggan book?
It was... It made me mad. I got angry reading it.
Okay. Moving on. Let's try to find something lighthearted. Well, let's talk about this one, I guess. I've been pretty good about the Mark Millar stuff on Image. This one I didn't like as much. I don't think I'm picking up issue 2. Sharky, the bounty hunter. So the bounty hunter in here, Sharky, he captures this guy. He ends up breaking like the 32 little dudes. He has to try to catch them all to turn in for the bounty. This guy was apparently this kid's uncle. And now he has to take this kid with him to take him back to some other family members. I mean, he has sex with a girl that's a half girl, half monster truck kind of thing going on there. Then it skips to another story. There's this big wedding. It's all like these mobsters. And everybody has a bounty on their head. It's a different bounty hunter. He's been playing a girl. He's been like using a hologram or something, pretending he's a girl for the past 18 months. They're getting close to his bounty to try to go into this wedding and wipe everybody out and collect all these bounties. God, dude, talking about the ultimate crying game going on. 18 months, you pretend to do a girl, and this guy's like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. Crap, this kills everybody. And there's a big bounty coming out of $1 billion. I don't know if it's $1 billion or what it is, the currency. But I don't know. I just didn't like it very much. I felt like it was kind of trying to be Lobo a little bit. I kind of felt, I don't know. I just did not do anything for me. And that's blasphemous book.
Hey, Huey.
Yeah.
Quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Comics Misexplained in the chat said that there's titties in that book. Is that true?
There are. Yes. Yeah. The half monster truck.
I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I was flipping through it, and there are probably about as many bad words as I just ran through in that last one.
Yeah,
but unfortunately,
and titties. Is.
Yes, yeah.
Titties and tires.
Oh no!
So Joe read Sharky as well. What'd you think of Sharky, Joe?
Man, this is redneck trailer park paradise right here. That's the best way to describe it. We find out in here that Sharky wasn't just always a bounty hunter. He was actually a spec ops guy with cool tattoos or whatever, and he has to keep to his word. And the kid kind of knew this. So, that whole relationship's about to kick off. I don't know. I'm a sucker for these kind of screwball kind of storylines with the kid and the adult and, traveling and kind of like, what was it from over the top from back in the day, with the wrestling stuff. But yeah, this is definitely geared to beer can Budweiser drinking in a foam cooler type mentality. And I think that's the beauty of it. I got some of that kind of Lobo feel to it, but I mean, really, how do you create this kind of character and Lobo not come to mind, So I don't know if they're going for that, but honestly, this is just ridiculous. Am I going to pick up like a whole arc of this? Probably not, but I do want to see where issue 2 takes me. So soft stash for right now, just for it being what it is and not being scared to be what it is. Just trailer park trash goodness.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to be a emergency vehicle tomorrow," or whatever she said she was going to be after the full transformation. But she's like had wheels on her feet and crap like that. It was nah. I'm done. Drew, you're up with the next one. We can't see you though.
Look, I'm coming back. All right, here I am right here, and guys, I just want you to know that I also picked up Sharky the Bounty Hunter. I read it digitally, and I just want to show you my favorite panel from Sharky the Bounty Hunter. It's right there. Yeah, I took one look through that book, and I was like, "Fuck no, he ain't getting my money." It looked terrible. Tobias Funk or Funke or whatever his name is from the goddamn Blue Man Group on Arrested Development. Oh my God, what a terrible, terrible looking book. So if you guys had fun with it, I'm glad you did.
I didn't have fun with it.
Oh, well, probably because you didn't read through it for like 2 seconds and see that it looked ridiculous. All right, my next book is Batman 65. I bet you guys are expecting me to shit all over this book because I've been shitting all over Batman lately. Guess what? You're right. It's terrible. We took a break from Batman's Tom King run where he's like being held hostage under the Scarecrow's influence and who knows what's going on and blah, 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 blah. And Bane's running the world from inside a prison and his dad's back from wherever he didn't die at the end of time or whatever during the button, even though he clearly fucking did. And, you know, Gotham Girl's in this book. And it makes no fucking sense. It's Williamson doing his whole little break from that bullshit and addressing Gotham Girl as whatever kind of tie-in to that stupid-ass Heroes in Crisis. This is just terrible. It's just awful. At least the art in this was pretty good. March's art was pretty good. Beyond that, there's no redeeming qualities for Batman at this point. It's just like, why we got to do some sort of stupid-ass Flash crossover, or we got to do some stupid-ass Tom King's dissection of his character every goddamn week. Oh, my God. Fucking stop.
Joe?
Yeah, I wasn't particularly interested in this. I'm not really digging this Gotham Girl thing or Gotham guy, either one of them. I guess I should find something that was interesting in it. I do like the banter between Flash calling Batman out on his shit. Yeah, I do like that. That was kind of good. That needs to happen every now and then. But I don't know. I'm not really sure. And they kind of hinted that in this that Gotham Girl actually has nothing to do with Crisis with a couple of panels here. I'm trying to find them now. But it was kind of vague and archaic at best, so I may be looking into it. But yeah, we can do without this. Yeah.
So you mean she wasn't a red herring when they were immediately like, oh, it was her?
Yeah, there's a couple of panels in here where she kind of alludes to she doesn't actually have anything to do with it.
Right. Of course, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's garbage. There's no real. If this is a true tie-in, they're not really giving up anything in it. I don't know. This has been bad, and I've been critical of Batman, and it's a shame because I like Batman, and I don't know. I think it's just
Read Detective for a while. That's been great.
Yeah, this is a blast for me too. I mean, I really hate it when they do the crossovers. I did buy the Flash one because I read this one. I didn't get Flash last week, so I bought that. But I hate the crossover like that. There's no point of have to buy both those books. I think it's stupid. I think it's a crappy tactic for the publishers to do. Why not just run it all the way through and have Flash have his parts in the Batman book? And it's just crap. It's a blast for me. God, you know, like I say it every single week. I mean, I know Tom King didn't write this issue, but you know, I've been trying to defend Batman this whole time, and it's like I just feel like it's this constant drudge of trying to get through it and trying to get to something that's actually fun. Detective Comics has been fun, has had some action in it, and it seems like it's going somewhere. Versus this one, I don't feel like it's going anywhere.
Yeah,
so
it's makes a good point in it. This crossover is completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, Heroes in Crisis could be its own thing and not have to worry about crossing over into Batman at all. It could be its own singular story too. Go ahead, Drew. Sorry.
Right. I don't mind the crossover as a publisher's tactic. I actually love crossovers. I love when stories cross over. I love continuity. I love shared continuity. It's something that I find Marvel does far better than DC does. And I like the fact that they want to include the Flash story, the Batman story, and the Heroes in Crisis. It should affect those books. If these heroes are being affected by this story, it should bleed over. I just don't. The way that it's marketed, it's just like, oh, this is a Heroes in Crisis thing. It's really not. It's a filler story. And I bought an issue of the Flash, and I haven't done that since the Button. And the Button was absolute fucking garbage. You can go back a year and a half and watch this show and watch me lose my mind at how bad the Button was and how badly it was marketed to us as an answer to what's going on with Rebirth, when the answer what's going on with Rebirth is nothing. We just stopped doing that. I mean, sorry.
I think we have to wait until the not Return of the Watchmen or whatever that Doomsday Clock have to wait for that to get done to really understand maybe
Well, I'll
what's going
see you in 2036.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 6 feet under when that finishes.
Yeah. So.
And Drew, you did a pretty good imitation of your mic freaking out there with your growl.
Paul, you got your next book?
Yep, this is my last one for this week, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy #2. Donny Cates continuing his win streak. This is a really good issue. The laugh out loud best comic book line of the year so far was when Peter was talking to Kitty Pryde, and he says, "She killed me, man. I can't get over being dead." And Kitty goes, "God, you'd hate being an X-Men." And then also when Cosmic Ghost Rider and Groot were fighting, and then you had all these little I am stab running around. It was great stuff. I mean, it had the perfect level of comedy, the perfect level of seriousness. I mean, there's a lot going on here, and like I've said before, any comic book with Hela, I'm in for. So, big old stash.
Joe?
Yeah, this is definitely just good stuff going on here. Great medley of characters being forced to work together in that classic comic book style that we all know, with nothing weird about it. You know, it's just, you know, and we're bringing back characters we haven't seen in a while, like Beta Ray Bill and Moondragon and Cosmic Ghost Rider's back, you know, and man, it just reads so well, and it's not beaten up trying to explain a story. It's mostly dialogue, right? Which I love it when writers write good dialogue, because then you don't need a whole lot of narration and the reader can pick it right up and get right into it. Man, how great is that? And a lot of it's just witty banter. And, you know, sometimes you just want a comic book to be funny, but you still want action. And you get all that in one issue. In 28 pages, that's just genius writing. And the art's absolutely outstanding in it. I really enjoy the art, how detailed it is. And just when they want to do a splash page, it is a splash of color and everything else. It is beautiful. So definitely this is probably my stash of the week. Really enjoyed this.
Yeah, this was really good too. You talked about bringing back characters who really haven't been around for a while, and then you get that splash page at the end. I don't know if I want to reveal that because it's kind of a big deal, but definitely good stuff. I mean, I'm enjoying this. I did love the I am stabbed little Groots running around, you know, and the Ghost Rider saying that he had, or maybe Groot was explaining, he kept chipping little pieces off him, and they kept growing up into their own little beings. That was good stuff. And then Moondragon had to come in his kick ass and make him like, boys, knock it off. Definitely a stash for sure for Guardians #2. Drew?
Just want to shout out Brandon Stowinski Comics just hopped in the chat. What's going on, Brandon? Good to see you. Mastodon Comics and Collecting hanging out as well. What's going on, Don? A lot of people are enjoying this Guardians run. I am one of them. I picked up this variant right here with the Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's beautiful. And I really love this A cover as well, man. Love me some Thanos covers. The heads on and the background here are really fantastic. Yeah, Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. What a team. The writing in this is fabulous. The fact that the entire first part of this issue is a recap of last issue, framed as a drunk dial to Peter Quill's ex-girlfriend, is just absolutely fantastic, man. The way that he wrote this all together is really great. And I love the fact that, you know, I thought you were going to say this line, Paulie. My favorite line from that conversation is the callback to issue 1, where the ship is called the Rider, and everybody thinks it's named after Richard. And when he mentions his new ship is the Rider to Kitty, she knows it's Winona right away. And he's just like, come back to me. Like, come back to me. The fact that she gets him that way is really cool. And that, yeah, you'd hate being an X-Man. That was a great line as well. This is just fantastic stuff. The formation of the Dark Guardians, who I guess aren't really Dark Guardians. They're kind of just doing their own thing. I think Scarred Star Fox is really fucking cool. This is just, it's a sick book, man. Everything that you loved about his Thanos run, his Cosmic Ghost Rider run. It's all in here. Donny Cates is being able to do the level of storytelling he's doing with Venom, with the level of humor he was doing with Cosmic Ghost Rider. It fits Guardians of the Galaxy as a brand to a T. This is really great stuff. Not since the Advent and Landing stuff has Guardians been this good, and I honestly think this is probably better than that. We haven't gotten a whole arc yet. I don't want to throw that out there and be presumptuous, but I am really enjoying this stuff. And Jeff Shaw's art is it complements this story perfectly. Really great stuff. This is my stash of the week.
Donny Cates, hail Satan, am I right?
Yes.
We'll go through. Well, Joe and myself, we'll go through one more round a piece, and then we'll do lightning. So go ahead, Joe, with your next book.
My next book. So I guess my last one, I should pick something just really awesome. I don't think I've really talked bad about anything tonight, so let's do that. So I'm going to leave it on a low note. So I picked up Doctor Strange. Now, the last time I read this book, we had the price of bureaucracy in the context of magic. And, magic always has a price. Well, apparently it had a tax on it, too. And this guy was apparently the accountant for it. And I thought it was fun and it was whimsical. So I was like, okay, I want to know more about this. And they totally made it a DruManchu thing. And it was just depressing. It was just bad, and it was just trying too hard, and it was garbage. And I didn't find out what I wanted to find out. You introduced me to a character, and then you just kind of, yeah, he was there. So hopefully he comes back later, but I'm not going to be picking up every issue to be looking for him. This was just disappointing. I mean, this is a dollar bin book, and my money was stolen from me.
Okay. Well, nobody else read that one. I'll go with Stronghold #1. I think Joe read that one as well.
Wolf Porn and Strongholds.
Yeah, Strongholds. Yeah, okay.
That kind of weekend.
It is that kind of weekend by Aftershock Comics. Phil Hester and Ryan Kelly doing the writing and art on this one. So this main character, Michael, I think he kind of realizes something's off. It's like something needs to be more in life. He just kind of like working and not being really relevant to anybody. Nobody remembers who he is. He's just kind of plugging away. He ends up coming across this accident because on the bridge, because he gets off the bus, getting ready to try to walk to where he needs to go. Car's dangling from the edge. There's a girl trapped inside. The car goes over. He jumps in the water, saves her, and decides just to go ahead and drop back into the water. And then he realizes he's not breathing. He's alive. He should have hypothermia. He's not getting hypothermia. He crawls out of the river, and he's kind of trying to figure out what's going on. He doesn't really know. And then it kind of comes down to there's secret organizations that one kind of tried to protect him, the Stronghold, and there's the adversaries who tried to expose him. He's known as a primacy through this whole thing, and he's kind of like a god or like an alien. And the one main character, Claire, knows who he is. She kind of wants to be friends with him. She wants to make him seem relevant. They end up going on a date, and she's trying to prove to him that he's more than what he is. So instead of going to like a dinner and a movie, she takes him to this old warehouse that's an old biker gang drug drop off, just to kind of make him fight and prove who he is. He ends up wiping all the bikers, and he's kind of finally starting to realize something's up. Her mother is a total bitch. Her dad seems like a nice guy right now of Claire's, but this is not too bad. It's a stash for me. And Joe, what did you think of Stronghold #1?
Yeah, I kind of like this. What if God was on Earth and didn't know he was a god, right? And he had to live a mundane life. It kind of had the element of that, plus like this Truman Show where this life is kind of fabricated around him to make sure he doesn't know. Then there's this other group of people that kind of stick him in these kind of hero chances to be a hero or whatever it is to out him. And, how important is the secret? We don't know yet. We don't really know who the good guys and bad guys are yet because we're still kind of developing to understand just how strong this guy is. and the family dynamic of Claire herself, where dad is like super chill and mom's zero chill. Right. So yeah, I thought it was a little, I don't know, some parts of it just seemed very dull to me, but then it would pick right back up, and that's enough to keep me interested in a book. So yeah, I'll definitely pick up issue number 2. But I don't see this as something I'm going to be like, hey, every week you got to put that in my. I don't see it that way. I see it as, oh, I got a choice between these 3 books. This is probably the first one that get dropped off at that point.
Yeah,
but good read.
Drew, your last book for a good review before moving to lightning round.
All right, let's see what I got here. I told Jock Yo I'd talk about something, but I'll wait till lightning round to do that because that isn't as important as this. Really good book. X-Men number 12. Picked up the multiple man variant here. Man, I dug this. I thought this was pretty great. The art has been consistently good. Rosenberg's telling a great story here. He's absolutely killing on just about everything he touches at Marvel right now. Punisher's great. I really like his stuff, and he writes these characters pretty well. We're coming across some of the X-Men that survived. We haven't seen them inside the age of X-Men. We and most of them are somewhat infected by Warlock at this point, which is kind of cool. I enjoy Warlock as a character. I think that that's kind of a weird deal, and we're going to see where that goes. There are some that are not. We get the death of one of my favorite X-Men characters of the 90s, the passing of Guido, the strong guy. This is good stuff. I really enjoyed it. We're going to see how Cyclops and Wolverine put a new team of X-Men together and what they do moving forward. So I'm enjoying it. Good stuff.
Joe?
Yeah, this was a good story. I like this. I always liked Logan and Cyclops working together because you get 2 dramatic differences there between the 2. And then what's it like when Wolverine comes up with a plan, and what's it like when Scott Summers comes up with a plan, and they always have to back each other up because the plans always go to crap. And that happens in this story as well. Saw a strong man die. And I'll be honest, that was kind of a rough death there, right? Because that was it's kind of dramatic, and I was like, oh, wow, that sucked, especially the way they made his face crack up a little bit because he absorbed the blast that happened inside of him. That was rough. But yeah, we got a new X-Men. Am I counting that right? I think we're on 4 teams now.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't read X-Men in a while.
At least, easily, right? But that's okay, right? Because this one seems a lot cooler. I'm really finally back into X-Men, and you're giving me classic X-Men and the stuff that I like in it. And yeah,
I mean, they've kind of been the same all along.
I don't really need him, but yeah, it's good stuff.
Before we go to lightning round, in the chat we have Comic Guy John. He is the significant other to Comic Girl Ava. On his channel, he's trying to get to 100 subs. If he gets to 100 subs, he's going to do 3 giveaways. He's going to do the 50 subscriber giveaway, 75 subscriber giveaway, and 100 subscriber giveaway. So make sure you go over and sub him up, get him to 100. I don't know what he was talking about doing for a prize. It may just be a joke or whatever, but make sure you go get him over 100 there because Ava just met her 1,000.
Yeah, what he does is actually kind of cool. He kind of does what Drew did not too long ago, where you kind of went over a comic book and you had the pages in the background. He kind of does that. And I'll be honest, I kind of like that when I'm driving in the car, and I can't watch something, but I get a quick update on a comic book I've never heard of before. He just dropped 3 videos. And I don't know who's doing the editing over there. My suspicion is Ava's doing the editing over there. But either way, it's still good stuff.
I know he did some stuff on Ava's channel that I really enjoyed as well. So I haven't checked him out yet. We will definitely do that. He subbed me up. I didn't have a chance to hit him back, but I appreciate that, John. And we're going to do that right now while I press these little buttons. Go to
Press
channel.
them little buttons as Drew is pressing them little buttons.
And
Lightning
subscribe. I'm
round.
number 75. Kamkai John, number 75, sir.
Ooh. Drew, lightning round for you, sir.
All right, let's talk about some books I read. The Amazing Nightcrawler, picked up the connecting variant, kind of damaged on this. Hopefully I can find another one. And the A cover as well. This is very House of M. This is Nightcrawler as an actor. He's a superstar. Really cool stuff. Pretty fantastic. And it's basically him kind of navigating the politics of this world and him falling victim to his need for hanky-panky, and you're not supposed to do that in the age of X-Men. And just like Caffeinated Comic Book says, smash the melee button, he smashed himself some Megan in this, and that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So he's going to be in big trouble with the weirdos who hunt down people who knock boots in the age of X-Men. That sounds weird, but it was actually a really enjoyable story. I liked it. So,
but he can just bamf his way out of anything, though, or into anything. Right?
What you did
right in them panties, baby.
Yeah.
What you didn't like was how your cover came out.
I did not like that, man, but yeah, it is what it is. I should have inspected more closely.
Is it Boof or Bamf?
Bamf.
Okay, that's why I was right. Okay.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Okay.
All right, Black Order, number 4. They got The Origin of the Black Swan. We got Untangling with Nova, Richard Rider. Real fun book, really good art.
I like
lots
that cover.
of great panels. This one right here. Yeah, this is a nice cover. These space variants have been really awesome. I like this cover as well because I'm a big fan of Nova, and I like the fact they're fighting in here. And we're maybe going to see more of this guy going forward. But I like the fact that we did a little bit of a Black Swan issue here. She's kind of a generic character, and we got a little bit more personality for her. It was a little bit contrived, but still well executed. And I'm going to stash it because Black Order's been kind of fun. The reveal at the end of this book leads into the next book, which will focus on the Ebony Maw, who has been fantastic both in Hickman's Avengers books through Infinity, and also in the MCU as well. So get you some Ebony Maw next time we drop that book. I did pick up Wolverine and the Infinity Watch, did not read it yet, but Paulie told me it's awful, so I got to get to that absolutely quickly to see how wrong or how right he is. Picked up Coda, haven't had a chance to read this yet, but the art in this has been fantastic so far. Really nice story by Spurrier. Nice fantasy stuff. And there's so much detail in these panels. These books have been coming out at a steady clip. I wouldn't be surprised to know that there was a portion of this done before it launched, because this is just like really, really well done art, highly detailed stuff, and these books come out regularly scheduled. It's kind of cool. Check out Coda from Boom Studios if you get a chance. It's at issue 9 right now, but I'm really enjoying it. You can probably find it in trade, for the first trade at least, and maybe the second will be coming out shortly. So maybe trade wait on it. Picked up 7 to Eternity. Sticking with this for now. Haven't read it yet. Talked about how I didn't read Middle West yet, but I am enjoying it. So kind of looking forward to getting to that. And picked up this Daughterman cover for the romance book. I don't even know what it's called because I didn't read it, because I don't care. But this is pretty, and I bought it. What do you think of that?
Love romances.
Whatever. It's Mary Jane and Spider-Man, baby. He getting that kiss on the cheek. She all blushing. Oh, man, look at that. Look at that. It's just sweet. It's saccharine sweet and beautiful.
Joe, lightning round for you.
I got to say words. All right, here we go. Aquaman, number 45. Big reveal of a brand new character that nobody asked for, and an explanation of some more gods that nobody makes no sense whatsoever. So, yeah, that happened. Blast. Justice League, number 18. Words. Not good stuff. Blast. Okay. Naomi, number 2. We were promised in the first issue some sort of explanation about her to see if she was actually superpowered or not, or what's the big difference in the mystery. What we found out is that a local mechanic used to be a prisoner at Iron Heights, and that's it. Blast. Let's see here. Let's go over to Marvel. Black Order. Love this. Can't wait for Ebony Mall's book because the expected happened in this. We can't say the unexpected. We should expect this from the character, the big twist in it. So I can't wait for his book in the next issue. And yes, this is a mini series. Somebody was asking in the room. I've been getting all these headshot type variants because that's is cool. Let's see here. Old Man Quill. We get reintroduced and newly introduced to the Wrecking Crew from back in the day. Power Driver, Bulldozer, the guy with the crowbar, and somebody else that nobody ever cared about. Come to find out, Quill's not his usual bantering, joking self. He's got some issues. So this kind of reads more like a Western than it does a sci-fi book. So something will snap him out of that, and he'll be gunning down people left and right because he's still developing as this goes on. Other than that, I've been enjoying this. I really like this. It's a fun read. Let's see here. Got this horrible, amazing Nightcrawler comic book. Got another blind bag. Got the connecting variant. And then I got the regular trade variant. Now, you're probably saying, Joey, every week you hate these books. Why did you get them? That's what happens when you pre-order things before you read them. You get stuck with the bill, and you just keep getting them. So we'll open that up after I'm done, as we've been doing. And I don't know. If you like it enough, tell me to put it in the auction. I'll give it to you cheap. Let's see. American Carnage been dealing with some sticky racial issues in this, and it has continued on. And I'll be honest with you, I'm enjoying every minute of it. There are some sick son of a guns out there. If you're not reading that, it's a rough story. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, it does not read like a comic book story in any way, shape, or form. It reads just like a whole bunch of tragedy. And I love my tragedy. Let's see. And the last independent that I got was Crackdown. This is kind of an interesting take on superheroes that have to rely on technology. And then a group of people built a religion in the future about not having technology anymore is the way. And they've exploded an EMP device. And now we're going to find out how horrific our heroes are when they're literally given everything that they need to defeat the bad guys. What do they get out of there? And they kind of left us off feeling like the movie Warriors from back in the day, where they got to get from one end of the city to the other because it's blacked out and they got to get to this other place. Man, I think I'm going to end up liking this. I would definitely call this a sleeper. I would pick this up, no doubt. Reads very well. So without further ado, let's open up this week's mystery blind bag.
Is that Crackdown based off the video game?
I'm not sure. I don't play a whole lot of video games. I couldn't tell you. But I'll tell you what, it was, when they had the powers, it was pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. I would read it just for that. But now it's
who is the publisher of it?
Dynamite.
Dynamite? It could be. I mean, Dynamite and Titan both have a lot of licensed stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I didn't see any advertisement.
Caffeinated Comics says yes, it is.
Okay. And, oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck you, Amazing Nightcrawler.
Oh, my God. Joe threw an F-bomb out there.
There's our bag cover for It's the Moon Landing. He's a movie star.
Cool, actually, I like that.
Give me $5. You can have it.
You hate it so much, just send it to me.
That cost me
money back.
Bring it to C2E2. I'll take it off your hands.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
That's what I read this week.
My lightning round. Love romances. It's another one of those one-shots, based on the old Marvel love stories. 4 short stories in here. I'd pass on it. Other than that, Spider-Man cover. That's the A cover.
Ew.
Unless you're picking up that Dodderman cover, that's pass on that. George McDonald's A Light Princess based off a novel, I guess. I read the first book. Hated the freaking text in here. It drove me freaking nuts. You never really think about somebody doing the word, what do they call the lettering in here? Good God, it was horrible. I hated it because it constantly changed text. Like, look at this. I hated that, how it constantly changed the font on the text. Drove me nuts. Couldn't stand it. Blast on that one. All these
Eat a Shroomer too, and it'll make sense.
What's that?
Eat a Shroomer too, and it'll all make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
Shroomer 9.
Black Badge. I don't remember what number this is. 7 or 8. Kind of remind me of a Goonies cover. You know, the map with the skull in it. Thought that was really cool. Still liking Black Badge. Of course, being a scout master, I kind of do. You know, I'm not sending my scouts on any spec op missions or anything. At least not that you know of.
Need to man them up.
Yeah. Incursion number 1 by Valiant. Blast. That's kind of a turd. I didn't even read this one. Grumble. Number 4. That's it. That's all my books for the week. I know Paul doesn't get a lightning round because he already read all his books. He already talked about all his books.
Paul's a busy man.
You're a busy man?
Heck yeah.
Since we don't have Mike today, Mike had to work. He's got some stuff going on there. Good time to kind of talk about our auction next Thursday. Again, this channel, Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Drew, myself, and Joe are going to be selling some books on here. Definitely come by, check us out, give us some luster coin for C2E2. So I got some good stuff. I know Drew's got some good stuff. Joe's got some stuff. I don't know about good.
I got some great stuff.
Oh, I got
you're gonna love it, girl. You're gonna love it.
a lot of those 2 per stores, 1 per stores, stuff like that. Your more rare variants, I'm definitely bringing in there because I get that stuff. Come on, baby.
But again, Mike's not here. I don't know if Drew wanted to do a shut your fucking mouth. You could do it in that cool radio voice you were doing in the off air if you wanted to.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for you to shut your Funko mouth. Coming to a store near you will be some bullshit ass bobbleheads. There is going to be 10 million of them. But you're going to pre-order them anyway to make sure that you get one shipped to you with a busted ass box you can bitch about. If you don't want that to happen, pay $20 extra for a little piece of plastic wrapped around it called a pop protector. Eventually, we're going to get one of everything Funko, so keep your eyes peeled for these What's Eating Gilbert Grape Funkos coming out. There's going to be a ride. It's going to be dead fat mama being it's a movie moment, actually. It's a dead fat mama being craned down the side of the house. It's going to be Target exclusive. Be sure to make sure that you stand outside of Target on Wednesday mornings and wait for those Funko trucks to show up like a douchebag. While you're there, you can pick up the new line of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares Pops. They got Steve from season 3. They're going to have Jane from season 6. Oh, man, they're going to have all of the Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares Pops. It's going to be fantastic. When you guys are going to go to Walgreens and you're going to find a million of the same fucking pop. It's going to have an exclusive sticker on it, but you're not going to be able to find the exclusives that you really want because they only release them in Ohio and you don't live there. You guys can also drive across the country and stop at every Walgreens, and every Walgreens will be overstocked with the same exclusive pops. That's how it works. Keep buying them shits. Eventually, it's going to turn to Beanie Babies, so sell them all before that happens. This has been Shut Your Funko Mouth. Did you guys pick up any plastic this week?
I did not. I haven't picked up any plastic in a while.
I actually did pick up a piece of plastic this week.
Well, go ahead, show us your plastic there, Drew.
Oh man, I don't really get a whole lot of Funkos, but I do collect these Marvel Legends, and I was just really hyped to see if this came out in the Captain Marvel movie wave. This right here is Genus Vell. Very excited to have a Captain Marvel Genus Vell figure. I dig this this Kree look. He is a little bit spangly as well. I'm not sure if you can see in the light.
You don't need to put his crotch center.
The universe.
Looks like he.
Go ahead, Paul.
Crotch?
Looks like it should be in a bad teen vampire movie.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah. Got that Genus Vell. Yeah, I dig it. It's kind of a fun figure. I don't give a shit about this Build-A-Figure wave. There's a couple more that I'd like to pick up, but yeah, this is the one that I really wanted. So I dug it, so I picked it up. My Kingpin Build-A-Figure wave is on the way as soon as that gets in. I bought the whole damn thing.
Capnated Comic Book said that figure still has more emotion than Brie Larson.
Man, give Brie Larson a chance. Give Brie Larson a chance, man. She's a misguided young lady, but she could be a good superhero. We got the whole Marvel machine is behind this, so let's see what they come up with. I don't think it'll do that well at the box office, but nobody gave a shit when Ant-Man the Wasp underperformed at the box office, so who cares?
It's Paul Rudd, though. Paul Rudd's awesome. Paul, do you have anything this week?
Nope. No plastic.
Joe, nothing from you?
No.
Yeah, I don't have anything either. But I did want to talk about, and I don't know if you want to mute your mic. I'm not going to go into great detail with Umbrella Academy. Did you watch all the way through, Drew?
I'm like one episode from the end.
Okay. Well, I don't want to give away too much, but I tell you what, it's definitely been a...
Spoil it. I'm going to watch it, so...
Yeah.
Whatever. Don't spoil that shit. That show is awesome. I am absolutely enthralled with that show. It was great.
Yeah, it definitely was. I never have read the comics at all. I think I have like one issue from the Hotel Oblivion, and I realized, oh shit, it's part of another story, and I didn't even read it. So I'm definitely gonna go back and try to get the trades now. I heard they're a little different from
a copy of issue 1 of Umbrella Academy, and you want the comic book legal fund variant version of it. I know where they'll be Wednesday night.
Wednesday night or Thursday night?
Thursday night.
Jeez, you can't even get the friggin' night right.
Dude, I'm drunk. I've been drinking.
But definitely, it's been a great series. My wife and I were watching all the way through. I mean, every night we've been watching an episode. Finished up last night. The only thing I can say that I didn't like about the very ending, now it left it a cliffhanger to get you to pull you into season 2. I totally get that, but I was sitting on the couch getting into it, and I'm like, what? That's it? Oh, you're kidding me. Huge cliffhanger. But definitely, I think it's an awesome show. Loved it throughout. 2 favorite characters are Klaus and number 5. The 2 favorite characters in the whole series, definitely. I like number 1, too. Luther was pretty cool. But definitely awesome freaking show. Drew, anything you want to say about it? I know you said you haven't finished it out yet. But
yeah, I really enjoy the way that they combined volumes 1 and 2 of Umbrella Academy.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like folded it all together and made it all work, while at the same time filling you in on some stuff that really wasn't in the books. That obviously was addressed, but not the same way. I think that the music works beautifully. I think the cinematography is awesome. I think the action scenes are acceptable for a television show. The scenes of them as kids doing the superhero team up stuff, that was incredible. I really enjoyed that. I think that it's just really well acted as well. I have a couple complaints as a fan of the book, and that's the origin for Space Boy is a little upsetting for me. That he didn't just have his head attached to a giant gorilla. That would be awesome. And I don't like the fact that they've got him wearing the freaking clothes, hiding it all the time. Like, just have him just be Gorilla Man. Like, come on. We've gone this far. Let's just have him be Gorilla Man.
I like the way they played a lot of like odd music. Like there would be tragic, violent scenes going on, and they would have like just some of the most oddest music playing along with it. Normally, I don't care about music in a show, but kudos to the guy that picked those songs. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think the music played a very good part in that TV series. A lot of good music. That's what I told my wife after watching that first like 2 episodes. As I said, hey, it's got some great music that's attached to it as well. And it definitely, like I said, it was kind of a weird song to wonder, but it fit. That's the thing. It's kind of like, well, okay, it's fitting the pace of what's going on in the show and everything. So definitely music's a big plus. I wonder if they're going to have a soundtrack for that. Anything else on Umbrella Academy? No. Hearing none.
Yeah, watch it. It's good.
Yeah, definitely go watch it. Anybody seen Doom Patrol yet? Watched the episode of that?
I refuse to pay for the DC Universe app until they give me an Xbox app. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry.
They finally came out the one for Amazon Fire.
Well, I don't use Amazon Fire because I'm not a damn heathen.
What?
I don't.
He's drunk or high too.
Listen, you Luddite.
You're throwing a lot of words at me, and I don't know what they mean, so I'm gonna take them as disrespect.
What about you, Joe? Do you say you started watching Doom Patrol?
Yeah, I got through 1 episode of it, and I was like, So we'll see what happens. I like the idea of it. I was always a Doom Patrol fan, and they're not too far off of it. I think I might have been partially just comicked out this week between shows, 20 some odd comic books, plus everything else. I think at that point it was just more noise in the background than me getting into it. So I may have to go back and rewatch it. So I don't have any problems with it or anything like that. They didn't go too far off of insanity. So I don't know. I might just have to just rewatch it, be in the right mindset, and just enjoy it.
Comics Misexplained says he wants a PS4 app, but he's waiting until Swamp Thing comes out and then binge watching everything on the 1-month trial. I'm doing the exact same thing. As soon as I get an Xbox app, get your shit together, give me a 1-month trial. I'll binge everything, and I'll let other people know whether or not they should pay for it.
Well, I hate to tell you all this, but DC doesn't do a month trial. They do a week trial.
Well, that's fine. I'm pretty sure I can binge everything DC I care about in a week, except for Batman the Animated Series.
Okay. Last minute shout outs or anything? Yeah, Joe's just about out of beer. It's perfect time to end the show.
You guys want to talk about DC cutting the line?
Oh, we can talk about that a little bit if you want. You want to
we got time?
What's going on? Yeah, I'm good.
Dan Didio down at Heroes Con, I believe it was. Was that what it was? Was that where they were? I don't know. They did a Comics Pro Retailer Summit, and Dan Didio basically blamed Marvel for saturating the market and says he's canceling a bunch of books. So we're losing a bunch of DC stuff. The questions really are, what is it going to be? What are we going to lose? What are they holding on to? And editorially, what direction is DC Comics going to take? I have not been a fan of their direction as of late. I think that's been pretty well established. But I'm curious what you guys think about it.
Before we jump into more conversation, I know Paul says he's got to work in the AM. He's going to bounce out of here, so he's going to do his shout-outs for us.
Just as usual, a shout out to everybody in the chat. You're the reason we do this, and we have a lot of fun with you guys. Watch my channel this week. I've got probably 3 or 4 videos dropping this week. I know I've got a haul dropping tomorrow, so check it out, and we'll see you all next week.
Take it easy, buddy.
See you. Joe, what do you think of the cutting back on DC titles?
You know, it's not I don't know why this is a thing. I'll be honest with you, because Marvel's going to end up doing it again in the next 5 years as well. This is a common business practice. They're just restructuring their financing. It actually has nothing to do with Marvel saturating anything. That's just an excuse in the market. You can see the exact same thing in car lines, retail lines. I actually hope people small businesses figure this kind of stuff out. And of course, we always have to have a reason to do it. So the few people that are dedicated to the products, but not spending the right amount of money for it or keeping enough of the cash flow going in that particular line, this is just common financial restructuring. I don't care how you code it. That's all that is.
Yeah, I mentioned in somebody posted it in the Facebook group, might have been Edwin, and I commented on there. I said, yeah, to me, from a business standpoint, that's what you do. You cut the stuff that doesn't sell. You cut the stuff. Well, why have that bottom line where you're paying to do that and nobody's picking it up?
Yeah,
Keep your main titles, keep your Batman, keep your Wonder Woman, keep your Superman, your Teen Titans, and stuff that does sell. And I'm not opposed to every couple of years coming out with a miniseries, so like what Martian Manhunter is doing right now. Come out with a 6-issue miniseries or a Maxi series, and then let the character kind of go away for a while or become a team member or something else.
Yeah,
I just think I don't see it like, oh my God, the death of DC. I don't see that at all.
yeah.
I can see Marvel doing the same thing. I can see Image doing the same thing or whatever. If the company's not selling something, they're losing money because they're producing it and nobody's buying it. So yeah, I just see it's a business decision.
I'll go ahead and look into my magical crystal ball. What's going to happen? All right, here's your 2 to 3 year outlook. All right, they're going to cut the bullshit titles that nobody's reading. Wonder Comics is going to go away. They're going to cut that entire garbage fest. They're going to turn around and they're going to go back to classics, and then all of a sudden you're going to get a restructuring of heroes. And within 5 years, they're going to have just as many comic book heroes out yet again. Just like they did before Rebirth. Everything dropped after Rebirth, and then they built back up. It dropped again, and now we're coming up on the upswing, and they're going to cut again and run free. It fluctuates. It's called cash flow.
Anything else there, Drew, on that?
Yeah, I kind of disagree with that. I think that this is indicative of a bigger problem they have, which is the fact that they threw a lot of money at a guy who hurt their sales numbers. I think that, honestly, people are losing their jobs because these are titles that are getting cut. Artists and writers are being cut. Editors are being cut. It's bad for the industry, is what it is. Is the market saturated? Sure, I believe it is. But does the cream rise to the top? It does. And outside of Harley Quinn and Batman, DC books don't really sell. On the charts, check them out. They're in the dumps right now.
They're up and down.
We're talking about things that are going to get cut. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a cancellation of Nightwing. Pretty sure that's going away.
Yeah, I see that.
We're gonna. You think Wonder Comics is going to go away? I don't think it is. It's Brian Michael Bendis' baby, and they're paying him a ton of money.
That 2 years he'd be gone.
With Young Justice selling the way it did, that #1 launched off shelves.
Yeah, it will drop.
I think that we're going to lose Vertigo again.
Vertigo's gone. Unfortunately,
Young Animal's gone. New Age of Heroes, all that stuff is gone. That should have been gone way long ago. We're going to see titles get cut back in production. We're not going to see weekly titles. They're going to go back to monthly on things like Superman and Batman. That's probably going to happen. Green Arrow is ending. How in the hell are we not selling a Green Arrow book? Like,
Green Arrow never really has sold, though. I mean,
he's got one of the better followings as a character through the CW show. There's no reason why they can't make a Green Arrow book that will sell. There's no reason. They're basically what they're doing is they're ruining their characters through editorial. Sales are slumping and people are losing their jobs because they have to pay Brian Michael Bendis this ass ton of money to fuck up Superman. Here's the one thing, and I'll go with something our friend Kat Ren Figures has said a bunch of times as to what she doesn't like about Marvel Comics. She doesn't like the fact that when she finds a Marvel book that she likes, it ends up getting canceled. we're going to lose a lot of books here. People are going to have their favorite books canceled. And I think the one thing that Marvel does when they do saturate the market the way that they do is they put out a little bit of something for everybody. So if you want something juvenile and stupid, you can read West Coast Avengers or Champions. Or if you want something or you know, Gwenpool or Devil Dinosaur, you know, whatever you want. Or you want your hardcore stories, you can read Punisher. You want your classic X-Men, you can read that. There's a lot of different things you can do, whereas like DC right now seems like they're funneling everything in the same direction, and it's very, very New 52. And I think that is a backslide. I think they're going to end up cutting titles that they brought back through Rebirth that did extremely well, and editorially they've killed them.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at, I'm not a business guy, but I mean, I think I understand. I know I've talked about it before. Just, you know, I understand business. You say people are going to lose their jobs. I hate that people are losing their jobs, but it's either look at 20 people losing their jobs or 50 people losing their jobs. You know, I'm going to go with that. And I don't see it's a bad thing. I mean, yeah, sure, every title is probably somebody's favorite title, but if they're only selling 200 issues a month, but they're spending shit ton of money on producing those 200 issues where they're selling a lot of other issues for different titles, it just makes sense to me from a business standpoint. I can understand you said that throwing
right
a whole bunch of money toward Bendis, and I don't like any of Bendis' stuff either. And I think that if it's, I don't know how his sales are doing right now, but if they continue to slide, they're going to go, man, dude, we just wasted a crap ton of money. And realize that, and like Joe said, they're probably going to I think if Bendis leaves, they're going to start all over again and try to figure out what's going on from there.
He's not going anywhere.
You don't think so?
Dude, they had to pay him so much money to leave Marvel. There's no way he's going anywhere. He's got an ironclad contract. Believe that. He came in and they're like, all right, we'll upend everything we're doing right now, continuity wise, so you can do whatever you want. That editorially, that doesn't make any sense, and that's really hurting them in a lot of different ways. Yeah, I get the business thing, and yeah, it makes sense from a business standpoint when your sales slump to streamline what you're putting out. But why are the sales slumping? Why have they been put in this position? I'll tell you why, and one quick example is Nightwing. I loved Nightwing. I thought those stories were great. They were doing some great stuff. And then, bam, Dan Didio wants Nightwing gone. He got shot in the head. Now he's Rick Grayson with RIC. Was he Ric Flair? And this stupid bullshit where he doesn't know who he is, but he knows who he is. And there's a bunch of cops running around in Nightwing suits. And it's just really, really bad. All right? That book's going to end up getting canceled because people who liked it when it was a Nightwing book don't like it anymore because it stopped being a Nightwing book because editorial killed it. Super Sons, that's going away. That's going to stop coming out. It's got what, like 4 or 5 more issues?
Yeah, something like
until that's done. Another thing that they killed editorially that was a book that was selling well for them.
Yeah. Last minute, anything on
that whole thing just baffles me.
No, that's fine. Any last minute comments on that, Joe, before we bounce out of here?
Again, the market ebbs and flows. If you don't like the way something is now, generally major corporations generally work off of a 2 to 3 cash flow cycle, which means 2 to 3 years they'll redo their cash flow. If you don't like the way it is now, wait 2 years, you'll be right back into it. We'll be praising DC for the great new stuff that has come out with the young artists that they've been able to find, the next Scotty Young, whoever it is at that point. This is not a guess. This is historical fact. We can follow this. They'll find the next person, and they'll figure some way to get out of Bendis to go away. But no contract's ironclad. There's always a demand clause for content at the end of any artist contract. So, yeah, it will happen. Just they got to be smart about it, and they can't be upfront about it because that's collusion. That's illegal.
Okay, we're going to wrap this up. We are running in at 2 hours long tonight. and not a break in the conversation at all. So, Drew, last minute shout outs for you.
I run long and strong, and I'm down to get the friction on. Shout out to the chat. Everybody been coming through, having a good ass time, having great conversations all night long. Oh man, it's great. We're talking about titties being in a book, and LJ shows up. Just really, really great night all around. I had a great time talking to you guys tonight, and sharing my books. And you know what? A couple people have subbed me up recently, and I don't want to run down the whole list and miss somebody. But shout out to my new subscribers. Guys, keep your eyes peeled on my channel. I might post something every once in a while.
He's more like he's short and he's small, and what you're feeling are balls. Joe, last minute shout out for you.
Hey, she's got it down already. It's too late.
Hey guys, as always, thanks for coming by. Thanks for interacting in the chat with other people in the community. That's really what it's all about. We're glad that we have a place that y'all can come and talk at. C2E2's coming up. I know the Blasting Stasher crew are going to be hanging out together. That's going to be awesome. I think this is the first official con where we're all together at the same time. That will be awesome. Also, don't forget about our auction next Monday. I promise you, if you're a comic book Thursday. I said Thursday. Did I say Thursday?
You said Monday, bro.
I've been drinking. That's why I'm so nice right now.
You're gonna get some good books to be drunk. $2. I don't care.
I don't care. No, but seriously, we'll have some good stuff for you at the Thursday auction. Don't you worry about that, and we'll make sure. I mean, who else is better to buy comic books from than the guys who collect them? So definitely swing on by for that. Me and Spectacular Spider Grandpa are going to have another auction here going, online secured auction going on. If you subscribe to my channel, good luck. Hit the bell, because I don't know when I produce stuff. I just randomly go up there. Sometimes I read the stuff, sometimes I don't. Let's see, how many beers have I had? I stopped counting. But other than that, hey guys, love all of you. Thank you for coming by. Hey guys, good chat tonight. Enjoyed it.
So we got lots of other stuff outside of this YouTube channel. We got our Facebook page. We got our Instagram. We got our Twitter. We got, what else? Our podcast. Definitely go check all that stuff out. At the podcast, I've talked about it before. I get to go in there and I get to edit Drew, make little funny noises and get him kind of edited out. Maybe I'll edit out his whole conversation so he's not leaving there. I don't know. We'll see.
What the fuck?
Yeah, edit it out. Boom.
Edit that shit out, you motherfucker.
Oh my goodness, he's just gonna say bad words just because now. So we do have our Patreon.
Dicks and balls.
We have our Patreon. It's we're gonna be picking our winner for the February book next show, I believe. Make sure you come by. Go to Patreon right now. You can still get entered into the contest for the Adam Hueys Vampirella cover. And what's $1 a month will get you one entry into that contest. $2 gets 2 entry, 3 gets you 3. We also have other stuff on our podcast. Joe and I interviewed Scott Schmidt from Pistol Whip Press last Thursday night. That's on our podcast right now. It'll probably be on YouTube sometime here pretty soon, but kind of trying to get people to go over to our podcast and check some of that stuff out. We got our auction next Thursday at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Make sure you come by check that out. You definitely get better prices on here than you are going to get from eBay. That's for sure. So definitely come by and check us out. The 3 of us will be on there. I don't even know how to run an auction. I'm hoping Drew's going to kind of come in and help us out. We'll see.
No, man, I got no idea what I'm doing.
I don't have any idea what I'm doing either. Other stuff I'm adding to my podcast. Mighty LJ, who was in our chat earlier, we are going to be reviewing some trade paperback. So we got some stuff coming up. We are going to be doing we have Paper Girls we're going to be reviewing. That's probably the first trade we're going to be reviewing. Then Rat Girls, and we got Witches. So we're going to be doing some of those, and her being a comic kind of novice, that's going to be kind of interesting take on her part to kind of jump in here and kind of review a book with me and talk about it, hopefully like a half an hour long podcast. So more stuff for the podcast, more audio content for you guys. So whether you blast it, whether you stash it, happy reading, and we'll catch you guys next week.